Sweet. Should be everything back up and running. All right, now that I got my eyes back, getting into our first input break of the run with Hyrulehero. We've got kkraes working his way through Peaceful Rest. Looks like we got CHRM trying to dodge some mushrooms over here and work his way into the Peaceful Rest area. Everyone sit back and relax to the smooth sounds of the Runaway Five. Well, Hyrulehero enjoys the show here. We've got kkraes working his way through Happy Village. Can be a very dangerous spot. The way we have it set up with the save and Tucson's department store, extra safety is definitely called for in this area. Taking a death is a huge time loss. It's the main reason for taking the time to buy it. Ooh, cultist spawns. This is what makes this area so dangerous. You're stuck fighting these guys, so it's pretty much no holds barred trying to get yourself out of these fights. If you're quick about it, you can get back out of the cave before the cultists can catch up to you, but sometimes, kind of like we saw on Giant Step, you can just spawn right on top of them and there's nothing you can do. And being a scripted, unrunnable fight, it can be pretty dangerous if they start calling for help, because you're just stuck dealing with whatever they throw at you, and you only have so many rock-ins to deal with. Psychic points are still pretty low standard at this point in the run, so at most we'd have access to 3 rock-ins, and we also have this mandatory fight coming up that we have to deal with, so you want to make sure you have at least one available for that. There are places you can get a butterfly spawn in Happy, so worst case scenario, you can go back for that and kind of start over. But there's a lot of real tricky points in this run where you can really lose a lot of time. Hyrulehero on one of the funkiest bus rides of all time. A bus so loaded with funk that ghosts won't even touch it. Right, kkraes able to make it through that cultist fight. We saw him trying to call for help, but nobody answered, so all things considered, that worked out pretty well. He is a little bit low on health going into Carpainter. Can roll with it at this point, but it's a little bit dangerous. And like I said, this is a pretty bad place to get unlucky. So probably not going to take that chance. We might see him picking up a little extra healing items or farming for a butterfly spawn. So we'll see what happens here. Right now, just trying to avoid all of those cultists. There's no time in the day for another one of those. Well, StinkyDiver having a very close call and a red swirl. That's Hyrulehero having a pretty good graveyard section right here. Nothing too much to worry about. The flies in particular in there can be real ninjas hiding behind trees. So you almost just have to kind of look for the lag from the enemy spawns to know that there's something there hiding from you. We go and visit this nice lady in her lovely room of death. Kkraes here, seeing why this fight is such a pain. The one cultist turning into 3 suddenly leaves him with not much psychic points to work with for Carpainter, so looks like he's going to be relying on his wits and a scripted fight and hoping for a couple of lucky lightning reflects there. So the only way to get those psychic points back are going back and looking for a butterfly, which is an option for sure. You wouldn't have to fight that extra cultist again, but it's a time loss there, and being a race, sometimes you just won't want to make that extra trip. Meanwhile, CHRM doing his best to get through Peaceful Rest Valley, but the spawns are really hosing him right now. There's so many spawn tiles and so many fast enemies that it can just be a nightmare trying to get through this section. This plateau in particular is a very annoying spot. Couple different routes around it depending on how the enemy spawns go, but you have to go down this hill here to get to the next section. So there's a few ways around it, but there's only one way in and one way out. Taking that butterfly. That'll be able to take care of his cold, he'll be able to heal up to full, and then most likely he'll run across another butterfly here on the way to the next section. There's a few spots with a very high percentage. Before I can even finish saying it, there's another butterfly. So, there we go. Got Hyrulehero and Winters now. Some of the best music in the game, in my opinion. Very nice section. This big jerk who's giving us broken keys, when he clearly knew it was going to be an issue, didn't bother telling us beforehand. I think he was just trying to buy time so he could finish his invention. His brilliant invention that he was the one who generated the need for. So good work for him, making work for himself. Like a scientist. Oh man. I missed out on it, but it looks like tragedy struck Kkraes, having to make the long walk back through Peaceful Rest again. Got CHRM coming up to Paula for this conversation here before his cultist fight. Hyrulehero has just picked up Bubble Monkey. Nice green swirl on the dog there. Makes for an instant kill. Quick level up for Jeff. That'll make the next section pretty safe. Plus you got a little bread roll as a healing item buffer there. There are a few safety items we can pick up in a later section, but that just saves a few inputs there. Gotta save those frames. Jeff's gonna enjoy some tasty stew. Kkraes having a real rough time in Peaceful Rest here. These territorial oaks can be real jerks. They've got some horsepower behind them. A couple of status effects that are pretty annoying, and then once you actually finish them off, they explode into a burst of flames. You have to mash your way through pretty quickly, otherwise they'll take all of your hit points in a hurry. So he's able to run away from that fight. The way runaway works in this game is pretty tricky, to the point where it's frequently not even worth the effort, unless you get the green swirl. So there's a lot of points where we just won't want to fight enemies, but if we can get an easy green swirl on them, we'll just take that opportunity and run away if despawning is trouble. All of the enemies in Peaceful Rest so very dangerous. Hyrulehero making his Tessie ride. That MS Paint Beast in the chat. I wish I had a friendly sea monster that I could ride through a frozen lake. I think we all want that. Take it or leave it on the monkey. It always seems like a good idea, but they're a lot of work. Got CHRM going into his car painter fight here. Hyrulehero is going to be doing a pretty specific movement to help despawn a angry goat that's going to be hiding in front of this cave here. Going to go down to the left, down to the right. Hopefully we won't see anything other than this pencil. No worries, no problem. Brick Road is a very trolly section of the run. This worthless protoplasm here is both worthless and a protoplasm, and also one of the biggest challenges of the run. He's another enemy that can call for help, which can quickly spiral out of control, and Jeff's accuracy is not always the best. Hyrulehero making that look very easy. Taking a quick safety heal there. The boiled egg that is always in Jeff's inventory. Hyrulehero getting a very nice duck skip there, going for the proto skip. Very nice. The proto skip there can be very, very tricky just because it's hard to manipulate how Bubble Monkey moves. So sometimes you can do everything perfectly and Bubble Monkey will just stand there with his thumb up his nose, and you're stuck fighting that protoplasm. Fortunately, the levels you gain from the earlier fight makes that protoplasm a lot less dangerous. And if you do happen to take a death in Brick Road, you'll just get dumped back off at the where Tessie left you. And you won't have to deal with any of the fights that you've already won. So it's not the end of the world, just another time sink. But Hyrulehero making Brick Road look super easy, and on his way to Pond Cave. One of the last gatekeepers of this run. This is another very trolly section. A lot of narrow passageways, which we can use to our advantage. The next couple of rooms have pretty narrow openings into each section that actually holds up the enemies so they can't get through them. So gives you some pretty easy places to despawn as long as you can actually get into the room in the first place. That is always the tricky part. The enemies here are also stutterable, with the exception of the shrooms that can spawn. Their aggro radius is pretty wide, so a lot of times you can avoid them. But in this current situation, stutter stepping's not ideal, because if you get into an even nastier enemy pack, you're stuck with enemies on both sides of you now, and you have to get all the way back. So you're very much at the mercy of RNGesus here. Hyrulehero making a lot of work of the stutter stepping ability. To kind of shorten the distance he needs to go off screen to despawn things. Doing a pretty nice job of manipulating the enemy movement that way too. Got himself in a pretty risky spot. Rough. It's not the end of the world. The rowdy mouse is dangerous, but if you can take him out quickly, it's not too bad. The slugs we're very aware of from the previous slug grind. Not the most dangerous enemies in the world, but just with the way Jeff is, his tendency to miss when you really, really need him to actually hit can be a very, very tense situation. Got kkraes and StinkyDiver both going for their death warps here, hoping for a cooperative mole playing rough. This mole can be the bane of some people's existence. You kind of have to rely on him to cooperate and actually do damage to you. When he hits, the damage is huge, but the fact of the matter is sometimes he'll just get confused and sit there waiting for 5 to 7 to 10 to forever. And you can just sit there waiting for him to do things. Some people would be prone to go and find one of the bears farther in the cave if things don't work out. Or just fighting multiple moles. We got StinkyDiver on the way to revive Paula. Hyrulehero is through Pond Cave for the most part here. He's picked up the bottle rocket from the chest there. The package, I should say. Bubble Monkey's going to help him out, fetching this rope, the help of a pack of bubblegum. Best dollar you ever spent. Bubble Monkey is going to abandon us for the first other monkey he sees. Real good friend, that guy, after all the gum we gave him. kkraes has just revived Paula. Both of our death warps are passed. Looks like StinkyDiver's taking a slight lead over kkraes. More than a slight lead, actually. I kind of forgot about the 8 minutes that he wasn't actually running. So, unfortunate deficit from that death that kkraes took there. It's having to go through Peaceful Rest Valley again is kind of a rough loss. Had a few other issues earlier in the run, so game's beating him up pretty hard today, but staying adamant, keeping things going. Hyrulehero onto our biggest input break of the run. This whole Star Runner segment takes around 2 minutes. The first real built-in bathroom break for the run, if you're quick about it. Good time to grab some water, grab some coffee, catch up with chat. Answer any text messages, phone calls, that fun stuff. Or if you're on top of your game, just to enjoy the scenery. Little sync from StinkyDiver and kkraes here. Going to talk to Everdread. The man handing out rolls of money all willy-nilly. Seems totally legit. Getting a little double Runaway 5 action here. A Runaway 10, possibly. We got Hyrulehero just about to come in for a landing, trying to find the perfect landing spot. Make sure everything's clear and settled in for a nice, soft, easy landing. Make sure we can fly this thing back out with our friends. Gotta be careful. Or not. Whatever you want to do. It's just a priceless spacecraft that your dad just built. You'll see him again in 10 years or so. Plenty of time for the heat to die down. Alright, so we're meeting up with Jeff here. Fortunately, the jerk with the bent key did give us a skeleton key for every door in the run. We're going to use that to get ourselves out of this trapped room. Hyrulehero making his way to the last boss of the run. We're making a quick pit stop, or not. He's taking the risk. A lot of times you'll see runners stop at that trash can up there to the right of the graveyard. There is a free teddy bear in that spot, a little extra safety net just in case Boogey Tent decides he doesn't want to cooperate and takes people down. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed that that's the last I have to talk about the teddy bear. To answer a question in chat, CHRM had an issue with his emulator, so he just started over with a fresh timer and is going after it again. He was only about two or 3 minutes into the run at that point, so not the end of the world. Technical difficulties are a nature of the beast for a marathon, so this is all for a good cause. We're having fun and supporting our friends, so we're just going to keep the party going for an extra 10 minutes or so. And Boogey is down. Got some status effects, but no real danger from the lack of teddy bear. The Boogey fight is usually pretty consistent. The big bottle rocket that Jeff starts with does anywhere from, I want to say, 350 to a whole crap load of damage. I don't know exactly where it tops out, but I think Boogey 10 only has somewhere like 570, 580 health. You'd have to look up the exact number. So you can usually one-shot him with the big bottle rocket, but you also have the little bottle rocket and Rockin' and Paula's Psy abilities with whatever level she's at to help kind of clean things up if you get bad rolls. So, fortunately, we have smarter people than I in chat who can actually answer the specifics of things. We're trying to hit everything with broad strokes as best we can. We got Hyrulehero finishing up with a official SRL time of 1:14:05. Timer ends right when you add the jar of fly honey to your inventory. So that is the end of Hyrulehero's run. 1:14 is a very respectable time for a race, especially considering the challenges that have been thrown at the runners today. It's great to see a time that low in any kind of a race or marathon scenario. Kkraes going to visit the zombies. They're very aloof at moment. There they are. Hi, guys. Well, StinkyDiver right behind him, just getting dropped off by the runaway 5. You can see some pretty noticeable lag on CHRM's screen. The enemy spawns here can stack up really quickly, and it causes that lag in a hurry when there's all those sprites on the screen. So that's one of the best indicators that things are hiding behind trees if you don't actually see anything. Because those no good flies sprites are very, very small. This is a very, very rough battle that CHRM is stuck in right now. A death at this point isn't the end of the world. You'll be stuck with Paula being dead, but she'll get a free revive after we pick up Jeff. You'll just be dropped off where the Runaway 5 left us. So kkraes is locked in a cave, hailing out to his friends and Winters, trying for a rescue. Right, kkraes going to visit our inventor friend here. Trying to get our gear from the locker room. I think we know how that's going to go for us. StinkyDiver going to visit the nice lady. Only to end up in the same predicament we've all ended up in. kkraes back to yell at this jerk. Try to get the real key. The key machine. kkraes is equipped with the pop gun and the Holmes hat. He's going to make his way out into the world with the help of his friend Tony, boosting him over the fence here. He's going to go visit the lady selling someone else's monkey for the price of a pack of bubblegum. Not sketchy at all. I've never been a shop owner, but I don't know if you can just sell anything that happens to be in the store at the time. Seems to me like a very broken system. Ooh, Bubble Monkey with the narrow dodge there, the dog. Most of the encounters aren't too terribly dangerous. The gruff goats can be kind of deadly if they decide to not agree with you. If you're going to get in a fight there, fighting one of the dogs is probably ideal just because of the extra experience. You can get the level out of it, but like most sections of this run, we would rather just not fight anything that we don't have to. There's enough mandatory fights throughout Boogey Percent that you really don't have to do a whole lot of grinding outside of the slug farm. Bringing up our next Tessie ride. OGStinkyDiver's out of the boarding school, he will be going to get his own personal monkey. Right, kkraes' Tessie ride is over. He'll be working his way over to Brick Road. Cookie Dough Donut, go for it, my man. Do the thing. It's as good a time as any.
All right, am I back?
Live and popping.
Cool. So, let's see here. We got a couple donations here. We got Squidbird with the $10 with the little heart, and then we got a $100 donation from Anonymous. So we reached our $500 goal. We're at $510, and our new goal is $1,000. So thank you all so much for donating and keep it going. It's just the beginning.
That's really incredible. Everybody coming out in force to support another good cause. Like I said earlier, that the speedrunning community is like none other. You won't see this in any kind of other competitive gaming event. People coming together to help out somebody in a rough situation like this. It's been a real treat being able to be a part of the EarthBound community and just speedrunning in general. Super proud to be a part of it.
Oh yeah, same. And I think this was only in the course of like a month or so that this got put together, so this is even more impressive if you ask me.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly we can, everybody comes together to put an event like this, because it's no small amount of work. There's tons and tons of people involved in this, and shout outs to all of the restreamers, the hosts, commentators, besides myself. Everybody just coming in, putting in their extra effort, and just trying to be there to support. Super cool to see. Got kkraes working his way through Pond Cave now. He got through the trickiest part, which is making it into Pond Cave. Not a bad first room. Stinky Diver on his way through Brick Road.
I got some updates here on incentives too. We also have we're now kill the animals for Super Metroid at $120. Save the animals is $100. So if you want to save them, donate a little more, or you could just keep donating to kill them. Your choice. We got Ridley first still on Metroid Zero mission. Link to the Past randomizer is still all dungeons. And yeah, that looks like it's it for the Bid Wars for now. And for goals, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, we got a diaper run. Racer will be Baby Rosalina. We're at 10 out of $50 for that one. And looks like all the other goals have been met besides Mega Man X 100% no Hado. And you still must collect the Hado for that. So it's a $75 incentive as well.
Rock and roll, let's keep them coming. Kkraes is out of Pond Cave very quick there, and CHRM made best of a bad situation. Had a couple extra protos to fight, but no worries, no problems. Couldn't quite manage the duck skip, but not the most threatening fight in the world. Mad Duck is very confused. See if he can get proto skip here. Kkraes works his way into the Sky Runner. Not quite. Unfortunately, you really only get one shot at that skip, and if his movement's not straight across, or if Bubble Monkey doesn't want to cooperate, it's just not going to happen. But not the end of the world. Much safer than the first fight. You've got the extra experience on your side, a little extra health. Doesn't seem quite as likely for Jeff to be a jerk and just not hit things. So we'll see how he does with Pond Cave here. Interested to see if Kkraes goes for the teddy bear here. I'd be a little surprised. The run has kind of been trolling everybody today, so having that extra safety net would not surprise me if he wanted to take that. Pond Cave not cooperating with CHRM. Fairly empty room. I think he's going to try to stutter past it. Bubble Monkey making things real tense. See what he likes to do. Looks like he's clear, and he's out. He's got himself in a pincer, but it's pretty safe. The enemies won't go through those narrow passages, so using that to advantage. Actually, a fairly uneventful second room. He was able to get into the third room right away. Ooh, the God Third. We love it. No spawns. Walk right through it. Make it look easy. Just the shrooms to deal with at the top of the ropes at this point. Got Kkraes here coming in for a landing. Put your helmets on. Bubble Monkey abandoning us for one last time.
Just got another donation in from Nero as well for $100. Thanks, Nero.
Dropping that big money. Kkraes is going to take the teddy bear here. In most circumstances, it is worth the extra 5-second detour to go and pick that guy up. The last thing you want to see is to go into your Boogey fight and have him one-shot Jeff right off the bat, or get a sneaky battle from behind that sign. We'll see what strategies he chooses to use for Boogey Tent. Outside of the big bottle rocket, it's anyone's game. We want to see big damage from that big bottle rocket. Going all out with psychic abilities. $474 from the big bottle rocket, so about 100 more damage he's got to do. Should be able to clean it up with this bottle rocket. And that's why we get the teddy bear right there. That could have been Jeff's face. Ness bringing the pain with the rockin' ability, and 40 seconds worth of text mashing ahead of kkraes before he can pick up his fly honey. kkraes finishing up with a official SRL time of 1:32:12. Very nice. The game did not cooperate in all aspects, but finished strong. Always good to see. Make sure we drop those GGs for kkraes. Now we got CHRM coming in for his landing here one last time. Make sure everybody goes and checks out the runners. Be sure to drop a follow. All awesome people taking the extra time to come out and do this great event. Always fun to see people putting up a race for something like this. This is a great category. It's a great introduction to EarthBound and just a super fun run in general. So I've had a lot of fun commentating for this. These guys have been doing a great job so far. We've seen a little bit of everything that this game has to offer, which is one of the best parts about these race events is no two runs of this game are the same. So watching everybody adapt to what the game is handing to them is really cool to see. All right, CHRM making his way out of the 3 cave there. Skipping the teddy bear. I, for one, did just not have the nerve for that, except for those times that I completely forgot. I have never once skipped the teddy bear on purpose. I will just say that. Double defend for the first turn and the big bottle rocket. 435 from the big bottle rockets. We got about 150 somewhere in there. And cleaning up Boogey tent. So another 40 seconds of mashing or so. Get those GGs ready for OGStinkyDiver. OGStinkyDiver with the final time, 1:26:23. Very nice time. Had some technical difficulties throughout the runs, but all of the runners persevered. The game did not beat them. So, very, very good game to everybody. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting the run. It's been an awesome race. I've had a great time doing the commentary for you. Really appreciate the opportunity. Anyone who's interested in the run, definitely go give it a look-see. This is a great way to get into Earthbound speedrunning. It's about a quarter of the game. It gets you familiar with all of the mechanics, and the community is super, super helpful to anyone who wants to learn. So definitely go check that out. Drop by the Discord, say what up. That being said, I think we are about due to get going with the next set of events, so I will get out of everyone's hair. I have been Dark Alexander. Thank you once again to the restreamers, our gracious hosts, shouting out those donations. Let's keep them coming, guys, and make this a continued awesome event.